Meditation and Spiritual Life, Swami Yatiswarananda. Sri Ramakrishna, watching the passing away of his nephew, declared after the event, "The subtle body, like a sword, was drawn from the scabbard of the physical body." Sri Ramakrishna sometimes saw his own soul leaving his physical body, and devotees often saw him even during his earthly life when his body was elsewhere. His divine consort Sri Sharda Devi once had an experience of her soul leaving her body and rising to higher spiritual planes. When it came down again, it was at first reluctant to re enter the body. In the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, we read of the police sergeant who goes his rounds in the dark of the night with a bull's-eye lantern. No one can see his face, but with the help of that light, the sergeant can see the faces of others. If you want to see his face, you must request him to turn the light towards his own face. In the same way, says Sri Ramakrishna, if you want to see the Lord, you must pray to him, O Lord, in thy mercy do thou turn the light of wisdom toward thine own face. Sri Ramakrishna further says, a house without light indicates poverty, so one must light the lamp of knowledge in one's heart. Our spiritual teachers tell us that divine grace comes in the form of self effort, spiritual yearning, and striving. These enable the spiritual seeker to experience the direct form of divine grace, which brings about the union between the soul and God or Brahman. Hindu scriptures say, a man should uplift himself by his higher self. Let him not weaken himself. The lower self, if properly cultivated, acts as his friend. If neglected, it acts as his enemy. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 6. To men, their mind alone is the cause of bondage or emancipation. And yet, many Hindus become fatalistic and throw themselves at the mercy of chance. The same thing has happened in the Christian world in spite of what Jesus taught. Be ye therefore perfect, even if your Father, which is in heaven, is perfect. He meant spiritual striving. Not everyone has said unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father, which is in heaven. Jesus taught a dynamic spiritual life, a life of intense struggle and effort. This was the life lived by the great Christian mystics, and yet, owing to too much stress on the ideas of sin, vicarious atonement, and easy salvation, which crept into Christian religion, many active persons working successfully in the material world have hypnotized themselves into thinking that they can do nothing on the spiritual plane. As a result of this hypnotism, which has taken away the spiritual initiative emphasized by the great mystics, a tremendous amount of energy has been diverted solely for material purposes. There is an overemphasis on material achievements, neglecting the spiritual ideal. Modern civilization is rushing headlong towards destruction, which can still be prevented if necessary steps are taken before it is too late. A drunken man was taken before a magistrate who asked his police escort, "What gave you the impression that the prisoner was the worst for drink?" The policeman answered, "He was arguing with a taxi driver." "That does not prove anything," but said the judge. "But, sir," persisted the officer, "there was no taxi driver." Now, many of us are doing the same thing. Being emotionally drunk, we see enemies everywhere and fight them with all our strength, forgetting that within ourselves we have worst enemies who are ready to destroy us morally and spiritually. Our fighting spirit could be more effectively used in fighting our own egos, our own passions. These are our greatest enemies. When we are drunk with the wine of ignorance and destructive tendencies, according to Swami Vivekananda, man has hypnotized himself into the false idea of his ego.